right. So just to give a little bit of background here, today we're going to be talking about the California Workforce Accelerator. I'm happy to dive into more details about it and provide a little bit of background about myself. I used to be an adjunct faculty at Cypress College where I taught marketing, and then I also taught entrepreneurship at Skyline College in San Bruno. And today we're going to talk about how we've been integrating employer training into classroom instruction and how students can go directly from the classroom and into the workforce. And in particular, a program that we have coming up with HubSpot. For the folks who are unfamiliar with HubSpot, it is a customer relationship management system, CRM, and they have many tools in terms of digital marketing and automation. And in particular, they have an AI digital marketing program right now where you can get into the program, your students can get into the program directly from Canvas. All right, so let me go ahead and kind of just let me just provide a little bit of always find it sharing screens make things a lot easier to provide some tangibility to what we've been doing. So what we have right now is a place that everyone is all too familiar is Canvas. I'm assuming everybody can see Canvas right now. And feel free to jump in with questions anytime. All right, so for the folks that are putting together courses, or if you're in counseling, one of the things you want to do is, wow, putting together week 3 of instruction is pretty difficult. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and then it becomes, well, how do we make sure this is in sync with the employers and what are they looking for? How to provide our students those opportunities. And so you see right here, we'll have the NexusEdge app sitting right here in the navigation bar, so that in your course on your campus, you can just click on it. You can see a lot of the different materials that are available out there for the different employers that we partner with. So for example, you'll see that we partner with Google, Shopify, Michelson Foundation, Citigroup, Unity, Snapchat, Northrop Grumman, Figma, HubSpot. Upcoming also is Microsoft and some other companies as well. And just to give an example of how everything works is you could say, well, what do I teach within my course? What do I add within my course? Let's see, AI seems to be pretty interesting right now. So you can see that. Let's view more details about HubSpot and their AI materials. So you see right here that these are materials that are created directly by HubSpot. And that way, that this is something that they want their future employees to learn. So that's why they provide those materials and work with us to put them easily put them within Canvas to assign. So if the thing is, not all of these materials need to be business or technology. We've seen a lot of these materials get incorporated into courses such as ESL, urban farming, kinesiology, agriculture, anger management, pre-calculus. There's a number of courses that these materials can end up they've ended up in across over half of the California Community College system, reaching about 50,000 students. So do not be fooled by the nature of the company. The applicability is a lot wider than even I realized early on. So let's just add this to week 3, and let's say this is worth 10 points, and then we can add this and click create draft. And what it's doing right now is generating a page within Canvas, a multiple choice quiz, and a free response quiz. And one of the things that makes usability a lot easier here is that nobody wants to create an account for anything new. Nobody wants to install an app, and nobody wants to learn any new apps. So one of the important things out there is that everything defaults to easily auto-populate. So you'll see that this is something that you can edit and maintain because of academic freedom. You can change this to however it fits your course. All you do is hit save and publish, and then it's automatically a Canvas page that is auto-populated within your Canvas shell. So I'll go right here, and you notice where it was completely empty before. Now it will automatically populate a week's worth of instruction. And now we can go into digital marketing, the exam, and say, okay, let's let's take the multiple choice exam. And something that's important here is that everything is graded automatically and flows into your Canvas gradebook automatically. So you don't have to put in a lot of effort to grade these materials. And when students complete those materials, they also receive a digital credential that's emailed to them. So you can see that this one is from Northrop Grumman, and students can add it to their profile within one click. They often do that because they don't have a lot of work experience at the time. And after they do that, we connect them to the workforce in that, like these employer partners, we have databases that we've constructed with these companies, and they can view these students and they can rank them accordingly. So AI, they employs a lot of AI to rank the different students and grade their free response assignments. And then that way, the top 300 of the HubSpot completers, they end up in a micro internship program where they receive a $1,000 stipend. They work 40 hours asynchronously over a period of 8 weeks with the HubSpot client to help them grow their business. And that's just one example of the employer programs that we work with. And then one of the others is Snapchat that's coming up too, where students get to build augmented reality filters or lenses with as their application, essentially, for the summer program that they have called the Snapchat Academies. And these are also materials that you can include within their course. So the main things out here are that you can make your class more aligned within any sort of industry, even if your class isn't CTE, and at the same time, your students can get opportunities for these companies, even without having to send a separate job application. And it's really there just to provide greater equality, because instead of being judged by the work experience they don't have, they're judged instead by the projects they can put together, the skills that they put together, and so employers evaluate them on their ability instead of their background. And I think that's important, as it reduces the bias in hiring, and it also makes your courses easier to create. So happy to go into more specific examples, dig into more detail. So yeah, I'll just I'll let anyone have any questions on anything. This, otherwise, anything. Happy to kind of dive into anything. Nobody? Anything? Oh, anything for the sciences. All right. Pamela's got a question. Anything for environmental science? Very interesting, actually, because there's a big push right now. You tell me if this is applicable or not. There's a big push towards sustainable and renewable energy, EVs and everything right now. So we're working with a lot of companies right now that are focused on the green economy. And then that way they can get jobs there. So for example, Whisk was the very first company that we worked with in the EV space. And what they do is they have an autonomous air taxi. I was like, I don't even know what that is. Like, is this a real thing? Yeah, exactly. Air taxi? What? And then it got bought by Boeing, which I don't know if people think is good or bad, but at least it's owned by a large company. So you get to see this is what Whisk is. It's this is what they built. And
At Whisk, we envision a future where you spend less time getting there and more time being there. As a passenger, your seamless experience begins with our autonomous eVTOL air taxi. However, there's a lot going on behind the scenes to ensure your flight is safe and comfortable. Let's introduce you to some of the team that's helping us fulfill our mission.
So you kind of see right there that this is really introducing students to what is an autonomous electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle, because I didn't know what this was a year ago. How can we expect students to know what this is either? And what happens is, look at all these different roles. Like, people don't realize that, hey, there's a hospitality manager role for this thing. There's a ground crew for this. There's a fleet manager in like a whole station that manages all the routes of the autonomous vehicles. And then so there's all these new careers that were not even available 2 years ago that are available now. And we got to be able to train our workforce in preparation for these careers, because instead of sitting on the 405 forever, you can get from LAX to an hour away without having to sit through any kind of traffic, and just basically have your own helicopter take you back to where you are. And they've already started doing this all across the nation, including my hometown of Sugar Land, Texas, from Houston Airport. And that's just one example. So I spoke with another company this morning, actually. They are creating they're building more solar panels to charge electric vehicles. There are other companies out there that are working with there's items in the sea like kelp forests and stuff like that that they're creating. So in some sense, there are STEM areas that are both environmental, but some of these materials are actually, like crossover in STEM, like more broadly as well. Something fascinating is, regardless of what career field I think we've been in, is that I think I've been using a spreadsheet my entire life, and I don't know if I'll ever get rid of that. So these materials on Google Sheets, this one is taught students how to manage a t-shirt business even, but this could easily be used in a career where they're building something at an environmental science company. Just knowing the basics of that can mean the difference between someone not having any experience. We've seen that with people working at Cole Haan, boba shops, retail stuff, and being able to get some of these careers, and someone willing to give them a chance that says, hey, look, I got a lot of stuff on the books that I need to, you may not know our particular field, but I got stuff that needs to be done on the books and spreadsheets and stuff like that, that we could use some help with. So that's their way in a lot of times. But something that has been very fascinating, I think, is the most assigned module is Google sending professional emails. I was like, are you serious? I didn't think that that was a big deal, but then it turns out that almost all instructors across a variety of disciplines feel like their students cannot write emails at all. And so this is assigned over 50,000 times across the state. Regardless of geography or what is their economic driver, it's our students can't write emails to me. So that's something that's been really popular as well. But I'm glad you mentioned that. That was a great question on environmental science. So that's some of what we've seen so far. But yeah, those are good. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Can I just
Yeah.
thank you for this, but there's something really important that we're in a crisis situation in right now, and it's water. I teach at Shasta College in Redding, California, way up far north, community college. I'm in charge of the water treatment technology program. 6 classes that prepare the students to take their State Water Resources Control Board licensing exams, to become operators of our drinking water and our wastewater treatment plants. We have been in a growing crisis over the last, I would say, 5 to 10 years, because people like me have retired. I went to community college there in the 1990s to get that career, right? A lot of students don't know about it. I'm being forced to go into build my own company in the private sector to start to promote. We can only do so much at the community college level. And I have some a great team of, employer partnerships folks and the career coaches, but it's just not happening. So I'm going to ask you, and there's maybe across, we got 116 community colleges. I don't know for certain, but I think maybe 20 or 30 of them have a water treatment technology certificate program that can drive those students through the curriculum and into the communities to operate. Is there a way I can work with you or whoever at the California Workforce Accelerator program to develop something that can be there? Because I'm getting ready to go. I'm developing my own YouTube channel under Pluvion Media to start to promote it and try to drive students into the various community colleges, all the way down to Cuyamaca College, which is down in San Diego. And this is just like, this is great, but we have some urgent needs. Students in the environmental sciences, this is definitely STEM, there's math involved, and it's all about climate change, because water is climate change. And if we haven't figured that out yet, then we're in trouble. So that's my question.
Oh, absolutely. So this is great, because we've done this with other community colleges before. For Rio Hondo College, for example, they had a lot of very specific needs that they wanted their students to learn. So we worked with their counseling team and we put together materials that they wanted at their college specific to counseling. But it doesn't matter what subject it is. And then that they use that and it got used at other colleges. And then we saw this used at, see, you know, it was at San Jose City College. It was somewhere also got used in State Center Community College District as well too, but it got used all throughout the state because it had the Rio Hondo College logo on it. So they knew it was built by their peers. They could see it fit within their class and made it easier to promote. So what's perfect is about all we need is a YouTube link to start with, writing some quick questions. And so if that's something that, you know, we could do together, that'd be great. Everything's already paid for. And then this would make it easier for your team to promote because, you know, they can, it's very difficult, you know, every company, even with the most resources, like Apple has found it very difficult to promote anything in a class and say, okay, you got to like down this. But if you have someone on your team go say, hey, look, you know, you just go into Canvas and click here to do this, they're good. And sometimes you get lucky. We didn't know people, we have faculty, I have no idea who they are, and they've added these materials just by spotting it within Canvas. So I think I'd be excited to put together these materials with you, and then we can co-promote together within
it'd be
each
great,
college.
Eddie. I'm assuming at the end of your presentation, you'll give,
Oh, yeah.
you know, how to get in touch with you and all, but this is wonderful. I mean, because that's what we need. You can work on it on the local level and that's all well and good. But the problem is all across the state and arguably it's probably in every state in the US. We're in dire need. Okay, got it. NexusEdge. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no doubt. And you know, I'm in Santa Monica where we just had a bunch of fires like 2 miles from here. So yes, I feel like there is definitely a crisis. That would
Well,
affect
our
us.
drinking water,
Oh, drinking water.
perchlorate is getting ready. Fireworks. I've been intimately, yeah, the public doesn't even know about this. You got
Mm.
rocket fuel in your drinking water. Not
Oh,
everybody does, but it's coming in from fireworks. We have PFAS problems. It's across the board. It's not just putting out fires and having enough pressure in a hydrant. There's a
oh.
reason why that happened down there. Those systems weren't built and designed for that. So, you know, these are all current topics that we're living with, and students don't realize they can have an incredible career in that field
Yeah,
without a college degree either. It's a
exactly.
career, it's a CTE program, you know, CTE.
That's absolutely perfect because this is great how you can introduce them to that because most of my students also had no idea what they wanted to do. And by providing them this opportunity and educating them about a career path that, you know, is viable for them, that's really transformative. So being able to show them that this career path exists where you didn't even know this because you're
No,
just trying to figure out life. I think
yeah,
that's really tremendously life-changing opportunity.
oh, good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'd love to chat with you about putting all of this together. We have a whole team around it and everything to help you do all of this. Yep. I think NexusEdge is installed in Shasta College already, actually. So it's possible to check with folks up there to see if they can already see it within Canvas.
How would I know that if I go into Canvas? It's not under all courses. Oh, you
Mm,
know, it might be. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I will look for it either way, and then I'll get in
yeah.
touch with you.
Get in touch with me because it's possible that the IT, you know, what's interesting is that it really, who can see it on the faculty side? It depends on what your IT person decided to do. So they could have installed it for this set of classes or nursing only, or, you know,
Right,
like
right.
any sort of manufacturing only or something. I can't remember what they did. This was like 4 years ago. But I think the best thing is to revisit it and see what was up to. Maybe it's a different IT person now. I don't know.
Oh,
But
no, I know our IT person very well, and he will know. This is really great. Thank you.
thank you so much. Yeah, it's very exciting. I think Shasta is a great place to start. Infrastructure's there. We already did all the stuff. You're there. That'd be exciting.
Super.
Fantastic. Does anybody else have any questions? We see we discovered just by getting together on a Zoom, we've learned a lot of different, we found interesting opportunities that we can scale. Judgment-free zone. No one has any other questions? Wait, Kennedy dropped in there. Oh, just trying to figure out context. Let's see. Let's see if we can figure how to help out Kennedy though. Let's think for a second. What are you most interested in, I guess, in the CTE or what do you, okay, where are you from? How about that? What do you teach? Is CTE a big priority for you or like something like that? I think putting the context would be most helpful within the context of what you already do. And I think that was what we have found most helpful with the folks that we do work with. Um, let's see.
Oh, I'm just trying to get information. I don't teach. I only do SLO assessment and program review coordinating. So I was just curious because I saw the description for today.
Okay, perfect. So let me just share my screen again and kind of just give you a feel for what how everything here translates into both instruction that also turns into like SLO outcomes and things that you can include or academics and it can include as well. So a lot of times now, courses are trying to be more industry focused, both from an enrollment perspective, as well as just, that's what students are looking for when they enter program CTE or otherwise these days, actually. So the instructors go into the app right here, and then they try to see what materials from what companies fit within their course. So whether it be, we've seen, like I was saying before, is agriculture, kinesiology, culinary, business, technology, ESL. There are a lot of faculty out there who like to incorporate materials from these various companies out here, whether it be AI or art, design, Snapchat, and augmented reality. So that's what's interesting is the SLOs actually could be different than they've ever been, is because I would not have thought, this one right here is an interesting one. Just the other day, I saw someone in ESL add HubSpot, a tech company, add how to create a professional LinkedIn profile to their course in ESL. So they just do this in a couple clicks. And I think what's interesting now is this changes the dynamics of the SLO. I'm pretty sure people aren't going to think, yeah, we totally could use a large tech companies creating a LinkedIn profile as part of like teaching and ESL course. Like that to me already struck me as kind of odd. But I think by looking at the data and seeing what other folks have done, we re-examine the way we look at a lot of things in both SLOs and in the academic senate and everything along those lines too. And just the principles of classroom instruction in general. So, hopefully that was helpful in terms of context about classroom alignment and lining up with the employer outcomes and what the students are looking for as well.
Is this turned on for all Canvas?
It could be. So what campuses do you work with or?
I'm part of the Los Angeles Community College district. I just haven't heard any news about this, so that's why I was curious. Like,
Exactly. So yeah, we do work with LACCD. It's tricky, I guess, because it's first of all, it's a big district. You have 200,000 students, right? And it gets tricky because the way IT works over there is they have a different Canvas IT person at every single college. And the way they do it is that IT person will only install it for each faculty one at a time. So unlike other campuses who just go into a class and say, hey, what is this thing? And they click on it, they'll find something that works for them. You'll actively have to know about it. You'll have to make a specific request that your faculty could not, your colleague could not have done for you. Say your business dean makes a request and the whole business department sees it. But for LACCD, it's like, okay, well, he did it. I have to do it and make an IT request too. Then they have to install it. So it's harder to scale within LA Community College District, but very close with the district over many, many years. So happy to kind of work with any classroom that you want, and we can figure it out. A lot of the installation infrastructure was already done because it's a long story if you want to delve into the IT weeds of things. But the communication infrastructure was, it was already done. So it's
it's
easy to do.
okay. It sounds like something LACCD would do. I'm not surprised.
That's hilarious, actually. But yeah, I mean, if just have any faculty put in a request or just have them talk to me and I'll put them in touch with the right person. We'll get together with the IT person and we'll figure it out really fast, actually. It's repetitive, but at least all the hurdles have been completed.
It sounds like something our distance education coordinators would probably need to like either advance or spearhead, because I could see this being something IT would not want to do, like because it's on an individual, per individual faculty basis. But I think if this was something that our DE coordinators, because our DE coordinators do collaborate district wide, if they promoted this as a tool, but I know our IT has been trying to manage their work, but they have a weird setup. So
Yeah.
there are things that they don't want to do because they don't have the capacity. So it's something like this, if faculty found out about it, I could see this overloading IT if they have to install it and one by one by one.
That has happened, yes. And you would think that with the like having, a number of requests that it would do a more global install, but even that has been difficult too. So yes, if we could all get together and talk to distance ed, I think that would be helpful in creating something that is easier for both like campus IT as well as faculty all in one go. And ultimately it does benefit the students because they have the employer resources and the credentials available. Helps. Oh, like, yeah, isn't the zero textbook cost OER thing like a big deal now? That's a statewide initiative, and this technically falls under all of that because this is free digital materials for faculty. So, hopefully in the spirit of pushing forward a lot of initiatives for Vision 2030 that, we could get a larger convening of DE coordinators and folks on board so that we could just have something that's much easier to scale. Hey, the latest thing is the HubSpot AI digital marketing program. I don't know if you were here when we mentioned that. That's $1,000 stipend for 40 hours of asynchronous work. And I think that's awesome because when I was their age, I was working at CVS and in their customer service roles, but here they get to learn AI within the context of business. HubSpot is a $30 billion company. They get to work with HubSpot customers on how to scale their businesses, and they get feedback every week from those employer sponsors. So they're getting a really good experience on their resume. They're getting $1,000 stipend, and they get practical, good experience, and they get to use AI tools instead of just I'm on ChatGPT typing things. They get to use actual AI business tools. So for me, I think it's an awesome opportunity regardless of what area they're in. And so, because AI is kind of all in every industry now too, the HubSpot customers are businesses of all kinds. So yeah, I feel like whatever they're studying, this is still an opportunity. Or if they just want to get $1,000 stipend, that's always helpful for them too. But yes, so if we could do that for LACCD, I think would be a lot of really interesting opportunities for them.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome questions. How about everyone else? We got 2 people named Pamela. No more questions in the judgment-free zone? Susie, Fresno City College. We've had accounting faculty at Fresno City College utilizing materials from Citibank. Let's see. Oh, perfect. Awesome. Okay, that's perfect. Yes, Shasta, that'd be great. If you could copy me on those two, that would be really great because
Okay, I will do that. I will
okay.
do that. I can always slip it in, Eddie. Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be great because then they're gonna be like, okay, let's install it. What do we do? And it's usually where, okay, there's this PDF here, watch this video. So they'll know what to, I'll pass them along the material. But, I think we covered most of everyone's questions. And, I'm happy that you were able to make your time to really talk through this. You helped discover, that's why we do these things too, is that, I think you helped really discover a really great opportunity that impacts 20 colleges. And so, I mean, it's hard to do that because I feel like and you mentioned from San Diego to Shasta, that's a big area. And there are the way strong workforce programs are organized, feel like they're isolated to very like very specific regions, and there's a collaboration that isn't there. So it's very exciting to say that you basically have a repeatable program that can go from San Diego to Oregon, basically. That's a whole state. That is very rare. And that we have the unique combination now where we don't have to go to regional consortia, get a lot of people on board for only like a 2-year period, and like, what are we doing? So it's really cool that you have a program that can scale statewide, because 20 colleges is a lot. And I know there's some students, my students, who are always looking for opportunities. So a lot of them have really come to see how they reinvent their careers.